There's a fog out there, and it's calling you by name.
It wants to wrap its whole self around you, make you forget who you are.
Let's be ready.
But you won't forget. You've got to find your way through that fog, through the unknown. There's only one way.
Run.
We're going to talk a little bit about wall training. Let's go.
We're going to go 3 different types of lunges.
Just keep that back flat.
Today we're going to take you through a full body workout. So let's go.
IMG Plus online camps take the world-renowned coaching and training methodology that helps create high-performing athletes here on site in Bradenton, Florida, and makes it accessible online, allowing for athletes to the ease and convenience of training without having to travel. While most online training platforms feature only pre-recorded instruction, IMG Academy Plus camps deliver daily live video sessions and interactions with IMG coaches and personalized analysis of your game. So not only do we provide a proven training plan, we evaluate and provide feedback on your progress so you know what to do and how to continue improving. So first you have to select the week that you would choose to partake in the activity. On Monday, you'll have a live video call with your coach that will give you instruction and explanation for the week's curriculum. Next, you'll receive access to your plan for the week. Now, this is going to be specific training that is tied to sports development as well as your APD curriculum. APD will include performance training in areas like movement, mental training, and athletic regeneration. Throughout the week, you're going to record yourself or have someone record your actions. You'll submit those videos to your coach for full analysis, and then they will be returned each day. The process will continue Monday through Friday, and at the end of the week, you'll have a full training experience that touches on all of the different aspects in that sport and all levels of development. So the coaches that are going to be working with our virtual campers are going to be the same coaches that work with our student athletes, with our campers, and with our pros that train here on site year-round. They're going to use some of the same methodology that has helped IMG Academy student athletes become some of the world's top athletes.
You think you know us? You think you know what we're about?
#1 IMG Academy here in Florida.
You think you know what it takes to succeed here? To focus? To grind?
Here we go.
Every single day? You don't even know the half of it.
Let's go.
This here is a brotherhood. We're talking about a got your back now and forever.
Let it out.
Push you harder than you've ever been pushed kind of brotherhood. It's a brotherhood that recognizes the success that came before us and the expectations for us to maintain it. Because the last thing we'd ever do is disappoint our brothers.
24th pick, Cesar Ruiz. 44th pick, Grant Delpit. 46th pick, KJ Hamler.
Scarborough breaks the tackle, surging forward, he's in for the touchdown.
And we hear what you're saying. The haters, the doubters, the people who throw shots without any idea of the work we put in and the sacrifices we make. But we'll let you in on a little secret. It doesn't matter. You know why? We hold ourselves to a higher standard than anyone could ever set for us. Work harder, get stronger, be smarter, play faster, dream bigger.
Unreal. IMG dominating.
This one getting a little out of control.
This is a brotherhood. So you think you know us? Well, you're about to find out.
The academic programs at IMG Academy are designed to be complementary to our athletic programs, but our goal is to be admitted and successful at the nation's most select institutions. The competition that's out on the field or on the court turns over into the classroom where students are looking to push themselves. Each year, we generally feature National Merit Scholars, AP Scholars, the Service Academies, the Ivy Leagues, elite academic D3 institutions, and everywhere in between. Ultimately, we want to provide the best fit for each of our student athletes. The academic program has 3 tracks. First and foremost is our college preparatory track. Then we have a full honors track beginning in 8th grade. And then lastly, we have AP courses for our most academically competitive students. Over the last few years, the academic program has grown both in its physical size, as we recently added 30,000 square feet for increased number of classrooms, a dedicated English as a second language space, 2 hands-on engineering labs, as well as a broadcast TV studio space. We've increased the overall number of faculty to help keep our class sizes down, as well as add depth and breadth to the curriculum by adding new courses each year. At IMG Academy, our goal is to provide the skills and the knowledge to help our student athletes prepare for success at their chosen college or university.
IMG Academy is easily one of the most unique places in the country.
All right, let's go. Let's get to work.
Every college, every university, every major program in the country comes to IMG to recruit these kids.
LSU, Clemson, Ohio State, Georgia's, they're going to come knocking on our door because our kids are ready to play right away, ready to compete.
If you can prove yourself at IMG, you can go on to the next level and be successful.
You're here for a reason, and this place is filled with the best.
You know, as an athlete, they want to get better every day. And these kids come here because of the competition and be the best that they can be.
What I want here is a family culture. The brotherhood is coming closer together. And as a team, if we think as one, we're going to accomplish a lot of our goals.
Welcome to the Bradenton area, where the easy pace of island life comes naturally in this coastal playground with endless white sand beaches, stunning natural preserves, relaxing vibes all around, and it's a seafood lover's paradise. Stay a while to explore downtown Bradenton with top-rated attractions and a friendly community set along the Bradenton Riverwalk. Come lose yourself in the sun-drenched Gulf Coast of Florida and change your reality in the Bradenton area. Learn more at BradentonGulfIslands.com.
Do you really think the greatest of all time just came from nowhere? Of course not. Because everyone starts somewhere, and champions start here. Grown rep by rep, conditioned by pro-level coaches who have earned their stripes. Built in elite camps, training day after day. Drilled until second nature becomes first. Start at IMG Academy.
Don't wait for tomorrow. Make the days count. Gatorade has carbs to fuel and electrolytes to help replenish, so you can count on the proven formula. Nothing beats Gatorade.
You know, that day, that very moment, you got better. Your better got better. What if that day was every day?
This is your game. You live it, breathe it, dream it. And so do we. We design it, test it, build it, and repeat. This is what you live for. Zenith. Live your game.
IMG goes on the road Saturday to play number 6 Duncanville. So you got a 1 versus 6.
Yeah, I just love the fact that IMG is going back to Texas. You know, you brought up the last time they went there was 2015.
Going into the week of Duncanville week, we called it, kids talked about some downtime for us just to recover and grow as a team. You know, Victory Monday this week consists of taking them to the beach, where the players could just lounge out and start to enjoy each other. We had players play in the ocean. We had guys study on the beach. So it was a great way just to fool around with our guys, get to know them in a different site, and we did a great job with it.
Had a lot of motivation in us going into Duncanville, and just the practice energy was definitely different from the weeks prior. It was an unneeded motivation that was just in us, and we were ready to play. This is a game that I've been excited for. There is no fear, there is no pressure felt when we put in the work that we do and we prepare the way we prepare. We love when everyone's against us, and it adds another chip on our shoulder. Just keep going and prove that we're the best team in the country.
Y'all got an amazing opportunity, man, for real. Like, coming to IMG, man, like, it really changed my life for real. Just my first, week I got there. DeAndre, Tony Jones. I mean, I met Bo before he left. A lot of guys, man, plenty of guys that I still talk to this day. Like, in the Snapchat group chat with Tony and 3 other guys that I went to school with. It's just like a brotherhood, bro. Like, y'all gonna know y'all teammates through college, through league. Got to Alabama, man, met Bo. Like, me and Bo was like this just because we went to IMG together. Like, that was a connection right there. And then just the IMG connection, like, when I say that, bro, like, tomorrow y'all really got to go out there and play as brothers, like y'all knew each other since y'all was yay high. Because that's just what it's going to be. If y'all don't do that, bro, this team, they're going to run through y'all.
Thank you. Having the alums come back and really share their experience about brotherhood, that's the big message that came across. And the other message was that we don't lose in Texas. And our guys really gravitated to his speech, and he really set the bar high for us, and the guys lived it.
Very excited about having an opportunity to play Texas. I mean, we've been down, Greg's been here since a sophomore, and I finally see a Texas team on the schedule is huge.
Very important that the number one thing that we need to deal was that one of us would always come to his game. We're so proud of him, and he worked so hard, and IMG has been the best for us.
For us to be able to go to every game, either one of us or both of us, it's been really, really special. It's great for him to have all of his friends from home. We have a ton of family and friends here that came down from Chicago to support Jay.
Nigel Harris,
continually grow mentally.
Number 74 center, Greg Crippen.
When he does
number 56 right guard, Ethan Lane. Number 54 right tackle.
Welcome into the high school football game of the year. This big matchup between the number 1 team in the nation, IMG Academy, and the Duncanville Panthers from just down the road here in the Metroplex, ranked number 6. Would you believe 49 players in this game have at least one FBS offered.
Y'all control this game. Y'all are going to be the reason we have that ring on our finger at the end of the year. Let's go, baby. Bring it up, bring it up, bring it up.
Hey, y'all lost him. I'm never die for y'all, all right?
Let's go, boys. Hey, brotherhood on me, bound 3. 1, 2, 3.
We are ready to go from Globe Life Park.
One, ready?
And now we get a look at J.J. McCarthy.
Hey, he's coming. Hey, he's coming.
On 3rd and 12, McCarthy has a pocket. Throws left, and it is somehow caught. Racing down the sideline, Malik with rain, and pushed out of bounds.
All right, kick it. We need to have protection. We do. It's just that they brought 6 instead of 5.
IMG Academy up 3-0 on the 31-yard field goal by Gavin Martin.
Sitting at a 3-3 record, the IMG Academy Varsity Ascenders return home to look to get back over 500. They welcome Akeland's Angels Christian Academy, the Wildcats to Bradenton, Florida. Ryan Sudol alongside Josh Phillips, my broadcast partner tonight. And Josh, big storyline tonight, the freshman Stacy Gage leaving the national team to rejoin the varsity team a couple weeks ago on this very field. 298 yards, 5 touchdowns in the first half.
Well, I'm sure the varsity team is happy to have the talents of Stacy Gage back in their backfield. He has just been incredible this season, and he looked great for the national team at the end of that game last week as well. So he's done it at every level, and I expect to see big things out of him tonight.
For the Ascenders, wearing their black jerseys, black pants, white numerals, and the Zenith Chrome helmets, one of our fine sponsors here of IMG Academy Athletics. For Akeland's Angels Wildcats, they are wearing their white jerseys, white pants, and their baby blue numerals. A little difficult of a font to read, so if you're watching from Winter Haven, Florida, we apologize if we misidentify any of the players for your Wildcats. Ascenders will defend from north to south, left to right on your screen, and that is the quarterback, Divinique McWilliams, and he is sacked for the first play of the game.
Looked like Frenchie Mack definitely got there. Pressure came from all angles. That pocket collapsed quickly.
And the big bad boy from Bowie, Maryland. I know the family was here for senior night a couple weeks ago. Got a chance to speak with the Mack family. And Frenchie starting off the game on a wonderful note for the IMG defensive line. Don't forget you can interact with all things IMG Academy on all platforms of social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Follow along at IMG Academy. If you have any questions in the chat, feel free to address either myself or Josh. And another sack, and it's Frenchie Mack again.
Frenchie Mack and Peter Shaney were both in on that sack. Again, that pocket, I feel bad for McWilliams. He had very, very little time on both the times he tried to drop back there. That Ascender defensive line is bringing pressure tonight.
And now 3rd and long, and a great start for the Ascender defense. Again, coming off a 44-14 loss against 5A school Sebring. Game was much closer, though, than the scoreboard would reflect. That was a game that, due to COVID and some scheduling issues, would not have normally been on the Ascender schedule, but They went ahead for it anyway, and there an incomplete pass is going to bring up a quick 3 and out, and IMG defense gets the job done.
Dangerous way to start the game for the Wildcats, having to punt so deep in their own territory. Punts at this level can often have bad snaps, can have fumbled, mishandled balls. So we'll see if they're able to at least get this ball off and get themselves out of this hole that they've dug.
And believe that is John Holbrook back to return. One of the stars on the field for the 69-7 thrashing that the IMG varsity team dealt out a couple weeks ago.
Even deeper they will go into their own territory. They have a delay of game penalty here, so the punter is definitely going to be backed up in his own end zone. Short punt.
And it is mishandled and fielded.
Just taking an ascender bounce there. So the ascender offense is going to start in incredible field position. Almost looks like they're on the 32-yard line heading in. And Stacy Gage is back in that backfield. Quarterback, we've got number 11, Tyler Ross.
Tyler Ross and Joe Borchers will split the quarterbacking duties, and Tyler Ross will keep the first one. And he is stood up just after he gets past the line of scrimmage. He'll get a short gain, bring up second and about 8 for the Ascenders.
Tyler Ross has proven throughout this season that he is a viable run threat in that read option game. The Ascenders like to use him in that capacity, especially early in ball games when he starts. So I expect to see him carry the ball a lot here early.
Now the man in motion is Jax Porter, and now the hand is to Stacy Gage, looking for room, dancing behind the line of scrimmage and keeps his feet. Falls forward to about the 20-yard line, should be good for a first down, and Stacy Gage's first carry is a good one.
Very patient running by him, Ryan. Stacy Gage was patient. That hole didn't open up right away, and he danced in the hole, created some extra time for himself, and then it opened up. So that was really patient, mature running by the freshman back.
Now Ross awaits the snap with Gage on his left hip. Now the snap, Gage looks up the middle, breaks to the left, able to spin through and still stays on his feet, but good enough for another Ascender first down.
You know, you're right, Ryan. These light blue numbers are very hard to read, and you know that's an old coaching trick because not only are they hard for us to read, but they're hard for opposing coaches to read when they try to watch film and scout these guys. So don't know if it's just looks or gamesmanship on the part of the Wildcats, but these numbers are hard to see.
And it will still be Tyler Ross. Gage will shift over to his right. The receiver on the near side, Nathaniel Castro. And now 2 men in motion. That is going to be a flag. And Ross will just go down. Looks like the end pulled a little early. I believe that was Jax Porter in motion, but that will be an illegal shift on the Ascenders and will be coming back.
Thought I was watching Canadian football for a second. I saw a couple of players in motion. I said, what game is happening? What's happening here? But I know that was a mistake.
So they'll move it back. Just under 9 minutes remaining. A quick first drive for the Wildcats, allowing the Ascenders this short field. It'll be 1st and 14, or 1st and goal from the 14-yard line. Tyler Ross and Stacy Gage in that little modified pistol. The man in motion is Porter. Now the snap. The hand to Gage, running right side, straight out of a cannon, breaks through one. And just shy. It looked like he was going to get that last final burst, but Stacy Gage, another 10-yard plus gain, It'll be first and goal for the Ascenders on the 1.
Stacy Gage hit that hole like he was shot out of a rocket, like you said. And again, it just shows the difference in what he does based on what he sees. Earlier in this drive, he was running patiently. That time he saw the hole open up.
And now Ross will bounce on the snap and into the end zone. Touchdown. Tyler Ross puts the Ascenders up early. 8:10 remaining in the first quarter, and just a quick little snap and lifted up by his offensive lineman, Tommy Varhall, with ease. And that is exactly how Tyler Ross found his way into the end zone.
Yeah, the Ascender offensive line gave a great push there, was able to push Tyler Ross into the end zone for the short plunge on the QB sneak. But most of the work on that drive done by Stacy Gage.
Now the snap is back, the hold is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. With 8:10 remaining in the first quarter, Ascenders 7, Wildcats 0. We'll take this time to thank our sponsors here for IMG Academy TV, Gatorade, Under Armour, and Zenith. Zenith providing the protection for our Ascender players, those sharp chrome helmets you see. Under Armour keeping our kids well dressed. You can also get that gear at www.shopimg.com. And Gatorade keeping our IMG players well hydrated. Thanks again to our 3 sponsors allowing IMG Academy TV to go off on this Thursday night. This game originally scheduled for Friday. The national team, the number 1 team in the country with a bye this week. We'll see the post-grad team in action again Saturday afternoon against Field of Dreams Academy. That game will be at 1 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. Myself and Josh Phillips will have the call for you for a little warm Saturday afternoon football, I'm assuming. And now this one fielded at the 5. It'll be the first return we've seen in a while. Dancing up the sidelines and a nice return. I believe that was one of the McWilliams. That DeZante, listed on the roster as an athlete, a free safety, and a halfback.
Well, DeZante's had quite a season thus far. He's averaging 118 yards rushing per game. So at least against other opponents that the Wildcats have played this year, DeZante has been an effective runner, and we'll see if he's able to get anything going against this tough defensive front for the Ascenders tonight.
Now a little pistol formation. That is Divinique, and the handoff to the right side, and that is a very quick DeArvis Allen, who's able to get the first down. So after the first 3 and out for the Wildcats, they're actually able to recover, and their first play on their second drive goes for a nice gain and a first down.
That was a smart setup. They had trips into the boundary and a single receiver to the wide side of the field, and that opened up a lot of space for Allen to bounce that to the outside. He just had to get outside that defensive end, and then it was a race between him and the outside linebacker and the safety that was coming downhill, and he was able to get a great gain on that down. So positive play for the Wildcats.
So now 1st and 10 on the door of IMG territory. Now the snap and the quick handoff, a flag quickly and gobbled up right at the line of scrimmage. All over that was Mark Blunt out of Grayson, Georgia. Grayson, one of the nationally ranked teams that the IMG national team has beat over the past couple of seasons, and opting to play here at IMG Academy, and it was a false start, and that will move Aiklands Angels Christian Academy back 5 yards.
Big Mark Blunt, 6'6", 240-plus pounds. He is a load out there at defensive end, and just the prototypical body that college scouts look for. I'm sure Mark is getting recruited by all sorts of schools, but he is a talented athlete.
Now 1st and 15 for the Wildcats. McWilliams takes the snap and hands to DeZante McWilliams. And a short gain will bring up a 2nd and long. And Frenchie Mack in on the tackle again, along with Liam Gombrich.
Frenchie has been active tonight early. He's making his presence felt.
And that's going to be something that the Wildcats will have to adjust for. Again, this is not a defensive line, whether it be varsity, post-grad, or national, that you want to try and run in between the tackles on. A little confusion on the motion there for DeArvis Allen. And now they'll go to the air, and that one is tipped incomplete.
I've never seen the motion that DeArvis just did. He came out of the backfield, he went back into the backfield, then he went into orbit motion back around behind the quarterback. So it was like 3 different types of motion in the same play. The passing game has not been kind to the Wildcats yet. They've tried to throw a couple of short screen balls and just not accurate throws, not able to connect.
And Peter Shanny in the backfield there causing some havoc as well. And Blunt putting some pressure in. Again, tipped out of the air is going to bring up a 4th and long, as that one intended for LeAngelo Johnson. Listed as both a safety and a wide receiver. And again, you see, looking down the roster for Aiklands Angels Christian Academy, Josh, we see a lot of two-way players, and we've seen that the teams that bring a lot of two-way players, they wear down pretty quickly against this team.
Well, they do. I mean, it's a luxury to have as much depth as the Ascenders have. Not many high schools anywhere in the country have this kind of depth or talent. And throughout the course of a 4-quarter game, guys playing both ways are definitely going to wear down.
And they're going to go for it and look for the deep ball. And this one is intercepted. Eddie Pleasant gets the pick, and there's a flag after the interception. The pick should stand. 4th down anyway. And we'll see what the penalty is. And again, you always obviously want to get the chance at trying to bring that back to the house, but again, as you progress through levels of football, if it's a 4th down, that's a play that if you know you can't get back to where it was, maybe cost the Ascenders about 10 yards, but Eddie Pleasant still with a great defensive read in cutting that pass off.
Yeah, great coverage by Eddie Pleasant. He was in perfect position. He had inside leverage on that wide receiver. He turned, he found the ball. It was underthrown. He went inside, he made that play. It ended up being almost like a punt for the Wildcats, to be honest. The way that we saw their punter punt earlier on that first drive, it wasn't a very long punt, so they got about as much out of that. And with the penalty, it was probably better than what they would have got out of a punt. So probably worth the risk for them at this point.
So 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line. Tyler Ross still in at quarterback. Takes the snap, the hand to Stacy Gage. Ross is going to keep it himself. And he'll get about 5 on the play before being brought down.
That was good discipline by the Wildcat defense, not to bite on the fake to Stacy Gage and to defend both Gage and Ross on that play. So well done by them. Ross was still able to get a solid gain of about 5 yards on 1st down.
So now we have Stacy Gage on the left hip of Tyler Ross with Juan Zabal Alonso out of Mexico City on the right side. Now the snap. Quick flag. Stacy Gage has it, though. Shakes one, tries to cut up field, and he is brought down. And another late flag as well.
These might be offsetting penalties. Might have a hold and a personal foul, but we'll see here in a second. But good running by Gage. Good pursuit by the Wildcat defense. Only gave up a short gain. Gage was trying to get outside. He didn't really get what he wanted on that play. So we'll just have to wait to see what these penalties are.
And it looks like
false start.
And a personal foul.
This is a false start penalty against IMG, and then a dead ball personal foul.
And that dead ball personal foul is also going to be
Personal fouls against AA.
So they'll assess the false start first, and then Wildcats will be penalized the 15 yards. So the chains will move after a little bit of confusion. And we'll have 1st and 10 with the Ascenders close to Wildcat territory, and we'll have a water break, our first one. But a good first drive for the Ascenders, and we expect to see a little more positive plays coming up here over the next 5 minutes, 29 seconds of the first quarter, Josh. I don't expect the score at the end of one to be 7-0.
No, but it's been a quick first quarter because there hasn't been a lot of passing. The Ascenders haven't thrown the ball at all yet that I can remember. So I will expect them to go to the air a little bit more as this game draws on, but they're dominating on the ground, so they haven't had to throw. But that makes the clock run fast. So we'll see what happens here coming up, but they've done everything that they've wanted to do in the ground game. The Wildcats really haven't been able to stop them, and they're on the move. They're on the move again.
A beautiful Friday night here in Bradenton, or Thursday night, in Bradenton, Florida. Again, with the reschedules, or still a little thrown off. We are at the epicenter of sport in the Tampa Bay area, with the Tampa Bay Lightning having just won a Stanley Cup, the Tampa Bay Rays in a World Series, tied up at 1 game apiece between them and the Los Angeles Dodgers, and the number 1 high school football team in the country, and maybe the best running back, Stacey Gage, falls forward for 5. Again, we mentioned earlier, a few weeks ago against St. Pete Catholic, Stacey Gage, 298 yards, 5 touchdowns in 1 half, Josh.
That's incredible for anyone at any level. But Stacey Gage has proven that he's got elite level talent. And if the Wildcats don't load up the box to try to stop him, he's going to run all over them tonight.
And even if they do load up the box to stop him, he'll still run over him.
Yeah, it may not be enough, but you know, as a defensive coordinator, you have to pick your poison. You have to say, we're not going to let this guy beat us, or we'll try not to let this guy beat us. We'll put everybody that we can put in the box and make the Ascenders go to the air, but they haven't been able to stop Gage yet.
So another 5 yards on I believe that might have been an illegal substitution for the Wildcats. And again, if they do focus too much on Stacey Gage, we've seen Tyler Ross has also ripped off a couple of 40-plus yard plays. Now 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Tyler Ross gets the shotgun snap. The delay, he's going to look deep downfield, and it is caught by Holbrook and spinning.
Fumble.
And it's fumbled, and it's going back the other way. And this is DeZonte McWilliams, one of the two-way players, and Holbrook able to reel that one in, but then stripped as he was attempted to get tackled. And the ball just kind of flew out, and a little break for the Aiklands Angels Christian Academy Wildcats.
So Holbrook is lined up here in the slot, and he is wide open. Ross makes a good throw. He steps up in the pocket, delivers the ball. Holbrook catches it. As he turns upfield, he gets hit low and spins, and as he spins, the ball comes away from his body, and the Wildcats were able to punch it out. McWilliams smartly picked it up and gives them a great return. So the Wildcats are in the best field position they've been all night, and they were able to stop the Ascenders from scoring another touchdown, and they have an opportunity to go down and tie this game up.
And John Holbrook was awarded Offensive Player of the Week for their 69-7 victory a few weeks ago. So I think we can allow 1 turnover from number 16 for the Ascenders.
Oh, it's tough. I mean, he got hit low, and he was spinning in the air, and the ball came away from his body. That could happen to anybody. Holbrook's a great player, and I expect him to get the ball again tonight and be able to make up for that.
So 2nd and 4 in IMG territory, although just barely. And the Wildcats are going to look to try and put points on the board on this drive. This their 3rd attempt.
They have to be able to throw the football at least some tonight, or IMG is going to load up on that run game. And they're not big enough up front to push IMG around. They also can't afford to make these mistakes, these penalties, these self-inflicted wounds. They're going to need to execute almost perfectly tonight to have a chance.
And there we see the 5-yard penalty, the false start, the receiver stepping off quick, and that will push them back into Wildcat territory. And they did travel with almost a full roster. Number 27, Edward Bell, though, an interesting story for the Wildcats, is actually deaf But the translator was unable to make the trip, as the hand here is to DeJounte McWilliams. And with the coaching staff having some difficulty communicating with number 27 for Aiklands Angels Christians Academy. Unable to play tonight, so unfortunate for him to play against one of the better teams in the state of Florida. But, again, nice to see players with certain physical disabilities still trying to make an impact in Florida high school sports.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate that the translator wasn't able to make the trip. I would love to see Bell play. I'm sure he'd love to play himself. But that is awesome that he's on this team and he's a contributor, and hopefully he's able to play in their next game and finish out the season strong.
3rd and 5 from midfield. Now McWilliams takes the snap, and then he is quickly wrapped up in the backfield. Busting through, I believe that was George Trajenic and also Liam Gombrich or Gabriel Smith. That was the entire Ascender defensive line just making an impact.
Trajenic went low and was able to get a hold of McWilliams so that he couldn't scramble and couldn't get out of the pocket as the other Ascenders collapsed on top of him. So you'll see here Trajenic gets a push, and then he goes low, and he's able to get a hold of the leg of McWilliams as the other players come in and finish off the job.
Gabriel Smith there after Trajenic was tying the shoelaces of McWilliams. And now on 4th and 11, Wildcats look like they want to go for it. And a delay of game against AA Christian Academy.
Hey, 4th and 11 is not enough. Let's make it 4th and 16.
Again, important to note, they did hit some traffic on their way here and did not get a whole lot of extra time to warm up. And so coming into this game after about a 2-hour bus ride, a little rusty. And it's showing early in the first here with a little over 90 seconds remaining. Now McWilliams drops, and then an absolute thrashing. Believe that was Christian Ingman, and intercepted back the other way.
House call.
And it is a pick 6 for the Ascenders.
He was not going to be denied. Grant Shepley on the interception. Or Leo Martinez.
I believe that was Leo Martinez.
My mistake. I get confused sometimes with the double numbers here on offense or defense. So Leo Martinez runs up on that ball. It was thrown in between the two wide receivers. It was an arcing high ball. Honestly, McWilliams was just trying to get rid of it. Over through the shallow receiver, under through the deep receiver. But a great reaction by Martinez. Not only that, he was flying on that return, showing off his speed as he ran that all the way back for the touchdown.
And I'll tell you what, that is definitely going to be one that we might want to look at again, because the absolute highlight of that play, besides the pick 6, Christian Ingman just going back into the backfield and absolutely demolishing the blocker before that pass got off.
Yeah, Ingman absolutely crushed that blocker. I think that was McWilliams that was trying to block for his brother, and he just gets flat-backed here.
And there you see Christian Ingman. Absolutely. If McWilliams wasn't able to throw that one up, Christian Ingman was going to get a sack for sure. Instead, the Ascender defense now up 14-0 with 1:21 remaining. And they're going to be coming right back onto the field to do what they just did so well.
That's tough to do when you go out there and you make a mistake and then you got to come right back on the field. But sometimes it's better. It's better to be able to get right back out there and play than have to sit on the sideline and think about it for several minutes. So the Wildcats get to get back out there, and McWilliams gets another shot at it, but they're going to have to do a much better job of protecting him. He has had very, very little time to throw the football at all tonight.
And now the whistle blows, the wind swirling a little bit here on the Gulf Coast of Florida. And the kicker, of course, number 17, Cole Caba. And this one just fielded inside the end zone. It'll be back for a touchback.
Well, the Wildcats haven't been able to get a whole lot going, period, tonight. They've had a couple of successful rushes, nothing really in the pass game, and they have to do a better job of protecting the quarterback. If McWilliams isn't able to complete anything tonight in the pass game, it just puts far too much pressure on their run game.
So 1st and 10 from their own 20. So the Ascender defense more than making up for that offensive turnover. And you have to think both the offense and defense maybe even having a little internal competition about who's going to score more tonight. Right now, a touchdown apiece for both the offense and the defense for IMG Academy.
This is a false start penalty against AA.
Yeah, they just can't sustain these kind of penalties. There's been several penalties that are very avoidable. Delay of games, false starts. You can't withstand that as an offense trying to go against a team as talented as IMG.
And now the snap and the hand. They try to go up the middle again with the same result. A gang tackle on the defensive line. Yuta Shimo in on that play, as well as the big man, perennial captain, Thomas Mercer. Frenchie Mack also in as well yet again.
This might be a career night for Frenchie Mack.
Been in on just about every play that's been tried to be run up the middle. And looking for the flinch fall start and a huge tackle.
Blunt.
Absolutely clotheslined.
Mark Blunt off the edge. Like you said, an absolute clothesline style tackle. He was able to beat the blocker, and as the running back tried to cut up inside of him, so Blunt gets upfield and sets a hard edge, and he cuts in between two blockers and just clotheslines McWilliams and puts him on his back. Mark Blunt was dominant on that play.
Mark Blunt, Yuta Shimo, Peter Shanny, Frenchie Mack, Liam Gombrich, George Trajanic, Christian Agwu, and Thomas Rice. I mean, any of those players are going to cause you problems. And we are seeing just the strength of that IMG defensive line. Haven't even gotten to get to the secondary much besides Eddie Pleasant and Leo Martinez for the 2 interceptions today. But that will do it after 12 minutes of play. Ascenders 14, Wildcats 0. You're watching Ascender football on IMG Academy TV. Welcome back, IMG Academy Stadium. Ryan Sudol and Josh Phillips, and the second quarter for the IMG Academy Ascenders, now defending from south to north, right to left on your screen. And 3rd and long for the Wildcats. And they run a quick little counter sweep to the left side and brought down again. I believe that was Yuta Shimo and Gabriel Smith on the tackle.
That counter was a good play design, but that's more of a 1st and 10, 2nd and medium play design. On 3rd and long, it doesn't do you a whole lot of good, and now they're still to 4th and long, and they're backed up deep in their own end zone. The last couple possessions on 4th down, they've gone for it. I don't know how wise it would be to go for it at this point.
So 4th and long, and we'll see if their special teams unit, it doesn't even look like there's a return man on for IMG Academy. It looks like they may just take the delay of game penalty, and they will.
This would not be an area on the field where you would want to take that. That is not a good penalty.
And now we'll see John Holbrook. You can tell he probably definitely wants to redeem himself from the lone offensive turnover for IMG Academy. He stands with his heels on the 45-yard line of Akeland's Angels Christian Academy.
Absolutely. I know Holbrook's a competitor. He wants to get his hands on the ball and put that turnover in the distant memory.
And this punt is going to be dangerous. It will bounce to about the 30, and the Ascenders will have a short field.
This is the second time tonight that the Ascenders have taken over at about the 30-yard line going in.
And again, that big offensive line for IMG Academy: Tommy Varhall, Luke Sudel, Henry Maddox, Anthony Ferranti, and Justin Curtis. Just absolute anchors for either Tyler Ross or Joe Borchers. Doesn't matter who's sitting at the quarterback position. And it is Joe Borchers. And the hand to Stacy Gage runs to the right side. He's looking for a place to go and absolutely shakes him out. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. From 30 yards out, Stacy Gage looking like a video game, and the Riverview Rockets strikes again.
Stacy Gage danced right, he danced left, he broke tackles, he bounced it outside. He showed a little bit of everything on that run, Ryan, and he is just so talented. Here he goes. He takes the handoff. He bounces inside, outside, breaks an ankle tackle, runs by the defense, beats the angle of the safety, and finishes it off. Stacy Gage has to be, if not one of the most talented running backs in the entire country, certainly one of the most talented freshman running backs anywhere in the nation. There is no question.
Cole Caba's point after is up and good with 10:36 remaining in the first half. IMG 21, Akeland's Angels Christian Academy 0. And you can tell they're playing with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder after losing 44-14. Don't want to give the Wildcats any opportunity to even put a little bit of a dent into this Ascender team.
Now you come off a loss like that, you know you could have played better, and you just can't wait to go out on the field and make it happen. And they're doing that tonight, and they want to erase that loss. They want to move forward. This is a great opportunity. Like you said earlier, Ryan, it's a beautiful night. The weather is perfect. It's a great night for football. These chrome helmets, I'm so jealous. Some of the best-looking helmets I've seen in all of football at any level. I feel like this team, the IMG team, is as well outfitted as the Oregon Ducks. You know, the uniforms that they have, the different helmets and versions of this IMG Ascender uniform that they have. For any high school recruit in the nation, this is a heck of a place to come play football.
Again, if you're watching on the YouTube stream, unfortunately we have the comments turned off, but if you're on the Facebook live stream, if you have any questions or comments for myself or my color commentator, Josh Phillips, feel free to ask away. A wealth of football knowledge sitting here to my left, having played in the Ivy League, the NFL, and the Arena Leagues. Josh bringing a new aspect to the IMG Academy broadcast this year. Glad to have him on board.
I'm glad to be on board. What a exciting thing it is to watch these young men play football every week. I'm learning to love IMG Academy Ascender Field. It's a beautiful view.
And with the temperature right now probably sitting in the high 70s, you can tell these kids are ready to play tonight. And we see, I believe that's Christian Ingman also sitting on the defensive line as well. And a timeout for the Ascenders. It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 20 for the Wildcats. Not sure what the timeout is. Maybe just trying to get a different look.
They might be making some type of substitution. There's something that they wanted to communicate that they weren't able to communicate before everybody ran out on the field. And so at this point in the game, you don't really need to hold on to your timeouts. There's only 10:36 left in the first half. So why not call a timeout, get a little extra water break, get everything communicated, make sure you don't make a mistake.
Now 1st and 10. Takes the snap, the hand up the middle, and again, nothing doing. They'll get positive yards, but not much. Gain of 5.
Edward McKee was able to bring down that runner after the 5-yard gain. 5 yards is a pretty decent gain on first down. It's not bad for the Wildcats to start off a possession that way, but just their lack of any aerial attack thus far at all, it's very limiting.
2nd and 5. Wildcats take the snap, the hand from McWilliams, straight up the middle and straight down. And believe that number 52, that is Andres Salinas Yaguno.
A nice tackle by Andres. Came up and filled that hole, shut it in a hurry.
And even though McWilliams just lowered his shoulder trying to get through him, Salinas Laguna was not letting that go anywhere. Now 3rd and 3. And another delay of game. And just heard from the sidelines one of the Ascender players yell, another one. I believe that is the 3rd or 4th delay of game that we have seen.
I don't want to be overly critical, but you've got an opportunity. You're at 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. You've got an opportunity to get a first down, and you get another delay of game, and it's just you're hurting yourself.
Now the snap. And the ball is down, and the Ascenders have it. I don't believe it was Thomas Mercer that recovered it, but he's the one that ended up with it. And the ball bobbled, and the Ascenders just not even really running away with it, more of a slow trot.
Well, they add insult to injury by turning the ball over after the penalty. McWilliams tried to run a read option play. He kept it. He tried to put a little bit of shake to give himself an opportunity to get a first down, but didn't secure the ball, and it got punched out and was recovered by the Ascenders.
Now Borchers sends Holbrook in motion. The hand to Wanzabal Alonso right up the middle, barreling through. Good for a first down, and Wanzabal Alonso slowly becoming one of my favorite players on the field, Josh. He just loves playing football.
You know what you're going to get from Wanzabal Alonso every time he gets the football, and he is going to barrel downhill, and he's looking for contact, Ryan. He wants the contact. He's going to try to run you over. He's not giving you any shake. He is running downhill with authority.
Borchers, the hand, right to Wanzabal Alonso, barrels through, and touchdown. Wanzabal wants the ball, and he gets it and puts the Ascenders up 4 scores here in the first half.
And Tommy Varhall lifts Zabal Alonso up like he did Ross earlier in this game. That was a big hole that was opened up by the Ascender offensive line. Zabal Alonso wasn't going to get met by any defender until he was already at the goal line. The defender, seeing himself get trucked the last time, tried to go low, and Zabal Alonso went right over the top for the score.
Cole Kaba, snap back, hold is down, and it is bobbled. Inselman couldn't get it set up, so the Ascenders will have to settle for just 6 with 8:14 remaining in the half. IMG Academy 27, AA Christian Academy 0.
The Ascenders have been incredibly consistent on their extra points all year long. That's about the only way you're going to get the Ascenders to miss an extra point is some type of bobbled snap or hold. Kaba has been extremely consistent this year. 'Cause 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 'cause
Now the kicking unit in Cole Caba will come back on the field. So 3 offensive touchdowns after the Wanza ball. Alonzo rushed straight up the middle. And again, something we've seen with Coach Kyle Bray. It's almost like we also saw this a few weeks ago where it's like wants to focus on one player per offensive drive, and it seems to work. That was the Wanza ball drive. A couple weeks ago, we saw the John Holbrook drive where he had 3 catches for 50 yards and a touchdown. And again, it's just run to one player until you can stop it and then try something different. And now we'll see a return. And this is DeZonte McWilliams. And a flag. That is in the neighborhood and a block on the back. But McWilliams is going to be off to the races. It's certainly not going to count. But still an impressive run.
What's tragic about that is the block that got flagged, the clip, was behind the play. It was not necessary, and that guy wasn't going to make the tackle anyway. Again, the last couple of plays from this Wildcat team, just a lack of discipline. They keep hurting themselves. That was a great run back by McWilliams. I'd love for it to count just for his sake, for the work that he put in. But that penalty is going to bring that back, and it's unfortunate for them.
And you see the swing there, just about 85 yards and 6 points.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely the kind of play, if it was able to stand, that might be able to give the Wildcats a little bit of momentum, get them a little excited. But now they're headed back in the wrong direction, deep inside their own territory, and I expect that Ascender defense to be salivating. They're smelling blood in the water like we've talked about Shark Week before. They're going to be bringing pressure and potential turnover down here for the Wildcats again.
So they went from an 85-yard touchdown return to now 1st and 10 from their own 7. .7:58 remaining in the half, and a timeout will be called by AA Christian Academy. We will take it with them with 7:57 remaining in the half. Ascenders 27, Wildcats 0. You're watching Ascender football on IMG Academy TV.
Don't wait for tomorrow. Make the days count. Gatorade has carbs to fuel and electrolytes to help replenish, so you can count on the proven formula. Nothing beats Gatorade.
Welcome back. 1st and 10. AA Christian Academy trying to get some points on the board after having a kickoff return nullified. And there will be Divanique McWilliams trying to get positive yards, and he does. Liam Gombrich in on the tackle.
McWilliams made a sharp cut, reversed his field, cut back, and was able to get some great yardage on 1st down, trying to dig the Wildcats out of the hole here, and they're deep in their own territory. So we've got 2nd and about 4.
See if they can keep the drive alive. Now the snap, the hand up the middle, and runs right into the arms of that Ascender defensive line, and a late flag coming in. That was Gabe Smith in on the initial contact and tackle. And we'll see what the penalty is. And it's against IMG Academy.
Well, the Wildcats had a couple of things go in their favor here in the last couple of plays, so the ball is matriculating in this direction.
So 1st and 10, fresh set of downs for AA Christian. McWilliams takes the snap. They go straight up the middle again to McWilliams. And again, same result. Trajanic in on the tackle along with Peter Shanny. Yeah, and that is a big defensive line to try to be running straight through if you are undermatched the way that Aiklands Angels Christian Academy is.
Haven't seen them try to bounce much outside tonight. Early in the first drive, they had a play where they ran to the wide side of the field when they had trips weak. We haven't seen them come back to that.
And there you see, again, just the recovery. Thomas Mercer in on the tackle, as well as Salinas Laguno. And again, this is probably the most we've called the defensive linemen's names all season long, as they have just been a force. They have not been able to break into that second level, and if they do, oh yeah, Thomas Mercer's there to stop you. 3rd and 8. Now the snap, the hand, they try to go up the middle again. And after running into 2 other ascenders, Trajanic is there to just stop him. Frenchie Mack in on that as well. And another late flag.
This might go against the Ascenders. It looks like it might be a personal foul against the Ascenders, and it is going to be.
And it is a personal foul against IMG. Didn't necessarily see where it happened, but after a nice stop on 3rd and long, it'll be a fresh set of downs. And yet another free set of downs.
Yeah, we haven't seen the Ascenders make many mistakes yet tonight, but 2 on this drive that have handed first downs to the Wildcats. So the Ascenders are shooting themselves in the foot, but they've got quite a big cushion.
They will take the water break. We will take it with them. 5:03 remaining in the half. Ascenders 27, Wildcats 0. You're watching Ascender football on IMG Academy TV.
There's a fog out there, and it's calling you by name. It wants to wrap its whole self around you, make you forget who you are. But you won't forget. You've got to find your way through that fog. Through the unknown, there's only one way.
Welcome back after the water break. 1st and 10. Again, trying to get into Ascender territory. They look for the deep ball downfield, and a flag. Eddie Pleasant in coverage, along with Willem Chinicki.
That's the most time McWilliams has had to throw the ball tonight. He was able to drop back. He had a clean pocket and was able to throw the ball deep. Now, he threw into double coverage, but it was almost caught. I'm not sure what this penalty is, but it looks like the Ascenders are backing up again.
A pass interference. So 3 free first downs the Ascender defense has given.
I'm sure the defensive coordinator is frustrated right now. You hate to give up free first downs to somebody who hasn't been able to establish any momentum for themselves.
First and 10 in Ascender territory for the first time in a long time. McWilliams takes the snap, drops, pressure coming, pocket closes. He's able to evade, and he's got space to run. Cuts back at the 35 to the 30. Evades one and brought down to the 21, puts it on the turf, and it'll be recovered just inside the red zone. I believe that was DeArvis Allen with the recovery. So now the Wildcats with a chance to possibly put some points on the board this drive.
McWilliams has got speed. He's got some moves. He was dangerous in the open field. But what opened that up for him was that the Ascenders were in two-man coverage. They were in man-to-man defense. So everyone had their backs to him. When he pulled the ball down and evaded the rush, there wasn't anybody with their eyes on the quarterback for 20 yards.
AA Academy, McWilliams now just throwing a little fade route into the back corner of the end zone intended for Christopher Henry. And just a little too much mustard on that one. It'll go out and incomplete.
Yeah, Henry had a step. And McWilliams just overthrew that ball, didn't put enough touch on it to let Henry run under it.
But nice to see AA Academy actually having some time to make some throws, and there we saw just escaping the outstretched arms of George Trajenik. Could have had a sack, and then the fumble forced. And now we'll have 2nd and 10. Now the snap. And the hand from McWilliams to McWilliams, and it is stopped quickly. Peter Shanny quickly into the backfield and quickly bringing DeZonte McWilliams down to the ground.
Peter Shanny ate up that edge blocker. This play had no chance, and he just slings down McWilliams in the backfield.
Shanny, 6'2", 230 pounds, out of Fairfield, Connecticut.
These defensive ends, Shanny and Blunt, are something to deal with. This whole defensive line for the Ascenders is stacked, and they've been dominating tonight. All four of them have dominated the line of scrimmage.
And one of the names that we have not mentioned today that has played some time here on Varsity, Julian Camaristi. He is on the dress roster, but actually got his first snaps with the national team last week as they took care of business against Bishop Sycamore, visiting from Ohio. Third and 20. Williams takes the snap. Pressure coming. Frenchie Mack there. And down he goes. Thomas Mercer and Frenchie Mack in pursuit. And they will force the 4th down. So after a nice drive, kind of gifted by the IMG defense and 3 big penalties, they were able to come up big and force the 4th and extremely long.
Yeah, you could tell the Ascenders were going to bring pressure just by the way they were lined up, and they brought more than the Wildcats could block, and Frenchie Mack came clean, completely unblocked through the center of the offense. So McWilliams had no time, and he tried to duck it down. He could not get free.
And sounds like another delay of game. So 4th and 23 will turn into 4th and 28. The line to gain looks to be about the 10-yard line. And they have the offense on the field. And 4 receivers wide. Looking for room to run. He keeps it himself. Tries to throw one into the end zone. Caught. Touchdown! On a bailout play, 4th and 28. And what a recovery from McWilliams to McWilliams. Touchdown Wildcats.
Wow, I thought he was dead to rights. I thought McWilliams was going to get tackled in the backfield for a sack, but he was able to scramble He was able to evade Christian Ingman, and he throws this ball up between two IMG defenders, and his brother, DeZonte McWilliams, goes up and makes the play. So McWilliams to McWilliams for the TD.
27-6. And a timeout will be taken. 2:03 remaining in the first half. Ascenders lead now down to 21. Looked like they were going to walk away with this, but again on 4th and 28. Just an absolute step-up play by Divinique McWilliams.
Well, that's why you can't give teams life and breath. You can't make mistakes and give them opportunities to hang around. Now, IMG has put this game, they've put quite a distance between themselves and the Wildcats at this point, but that drive, they made several mistakes that kept the Wildcats on the field, and they've got a few guys that can make plays, and McWilliams was able to scramble around and throw a ball up, and his brother is an athlete too and went up and made a play.
And they will not have a extra point unit. They will, in fact, go for 2. So subbing on. Looks like Maurice McFarland will come in a defensive role, play a little defensive back. On the point after. 2-point attempt. Now the snap right up the middle and stood up. And falling just shy, no good. So with 2:03 remaining in the half, Ascenders lead now 27-6. And we'll see their kick return unit for the first time.
That was a good stand there on that 2-point conversion. I'd like to see the replay of that. So you came up and filled that hole. Looked like the linebacker from the secondary came up and just stuck the running back. That was a nice fill by him to stop that 2-point conversion.
And we'll take a look. And I believe that was number 14, Leo Martinez, already with a pick 6 to his name. And they're just sticking a shoulder down and keeping those extra 2 points off the board.
Yeah, Leo Martinez is having a good night. That's a nice goal line fill by a safety coming up and making a form tackle and stopping the momentum of the running back, preventing the 2-point score.
And Leo Martinez at 5'10", 174 pounds out of Santa Catarina, Mexico. I believe one of 3 players from Mexico on this IMG Academy roster.
I'm not sure which coach gets the recruiting duties to go down to Mexico, but I wonder if he goes by Puerto Vallarta or Cabo. I don't know, but I'll have to find out who that is.
And if they're hiring.
I'm available, Ryan.
And this was a little onside kick attempt and almost recovered. And that was number 13, Nathaniel Castro. Again, that took a very beneficial Wildcat bounce that almost allowed them to recover.
You never know what you're going to get with an onside kick, and that was a well-kicked onside ball, that high bounce that the kicker got after the first roll, and that's always dangerous, but the IMG team was ready to field that. Their hands team was ready to field that, so that was a nice play by Nathaniel Castro to haul that in and keep the possession for IMG.
And the Ascenders will get the ball to begin the second half. 2:02 remaining in the first. And a timeout taken by the Wildcats. And we'll see Joe Borchers and our first look here for Demetrius Fletcher. Listed number 3 on the depth chart along with Keyshawn Fauntleroy, Christopher Lim, and Maurice McFarland. And they'll break the timeout huddle. Joe Borchers will stay in at quarterback. And now Fletcher in motion. The snap, they fake the jet sweep. Joe Borchers keeps it himself and into Wildcat territory. That is typically the play we see Tyler Ross make to spring for a few yards, but Joe Borchers showing he can't just do it with his arm, he can do it with his legs as well.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of that from Ross this season, but not much from Borchers. But that time he called his own number and kept it and went straight downhill, and he wasn't looking to slide. He lowered his shoulder and put a couple of Wildcats on their back.
Man in motion is Jax Porter. Borchers takes the snap, the hand of Fletcher looking for space, and quickly swallowed up, but still positive yards for IMG Academy. Bring up 2nd and 7 from the AA 43-yard line. A little quick huddle. Man in motion is Holbrook. The hand to Fletcher, straight up the middle. He's got space and brought down maybe a little dangerously from behind the helmet. His neck cranked a little bit, but no horse collar is called, and a first down for Demetrius Fletcher.
That was good vision by Fletcher. Fletcher takes his hand off. Again, the hole right in front of him wasn't necessarily open. He made a little bit of a dance and a cut to the right, and then he was dragged down and flipped from behind.
12 yards on the carry for Fletcher. Holbrook in motion. They fake the jet sweep. Borchers across the middle. It is caught by Jax Porter and good for a first down.
I think Borchers might be injured on that play. He's holding his shoulder and coming off the field. Ross is running on. That was a nice throw by Borchers. We haven't seen the Ascenders go to the air in a while, but a wide open tight end in the middle of the field.
And now Ross quickly in and quickly subs. Fletcher able to bounce off one and falls forward. And with 35 seconds left, IMG is going to call a timeout and try to punch one in before the half, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second.
Yeah, Borchers is getting checked out by the trainer here. His right arm is kind of hanging there. Hopefully he's all right.
And we'll see if we can see what happened possibly to Joe Borchers on that pass play. Looks like maybe on the follow-through, his arm kind of swung across his body. Didn't see. Maybe he might have
looks like
bounced
he got
it off
hit.
Someone's helmet or something like that.
Yeah, I think he got hit right on the follow-through.
So 2nd and 8 from the 11. As Ross and Fletcher in the backfield. Fletcher moves over to the left hip. In motion is Holbrook. Now the snap. Ross going to roll to his left. Little easy pass to John Holbrook, who extends and into the end zone. Touchdown. John Holbrook on the little wheel route. Beautiful motion by Tyler Ross. Throws across his body in that kind of awkward opposite direction. And the Ascenders answer right back.
Ross does a great job on this play of getting his hips square downfield to Holbrook before he throws this ball. That's one of the harder things for a right-handed quarterback, rolling to his left, but he's able to square up, and he throws a very accurate pass, and Holbrook's able to catch it, turn upfield, and extend it for the TD.
And now the John Holbrook fumble early in the first quarter, a mere memory as he gets those points back for the Ascenders, 34-6. With 28.2 remaining in the half.
I don't even know what you're talking about, Ryan. I don't know what turnover you're talking about. I know that Holbrook's just scored a touchdown. That's all I remember, but a great play by John Holbrook, who had a career game last time we saw him here on this field. Multiple catches, touchdowns. He was phenomenal in that game. It's good to see him getting back to do what he does best.
And we'll see now if the Wildcats, again, knowing they're going to have to give the ball back to IMG, try to do anything. We have seen them get an 85-yard return for a touchdown, get called back. So they are capable of making something happen on special teams, and they're going to need to. Otherwise, they're going to have to try and run that same 4th and 28 play that got them on the board a couple of times here with time winding down and no timeouts for the Wildcats.
I have the feeling if anybody's going to do anything exciting, it's going to be a guy with the last name McWilliams.
3 of them on the Aiklands Angels roster, and just shoved out of bounds.
We might get a late hit on IMG out of bounds. I'm not sure. I saw some contact a couple yards out of bounds. It looked like it might have been inadvertent.
You know, that is also something that will be addressed by the coaching staff, and it's actually a hold against the Wildcats.
Well, that almost certainly means that the Wildcats are going to take it in as they're being backed up again deep inside their own territory. Trying to run a play here could be disastrous, especially if there's a turnover.
Maybe just time for 1, maybe 2 trick plays if you got one holding in your back pocket. If they can somehow get into Ascender territory and get out of bounds, potential for maybe one last shot at the end zone. They'll go 2 receivers to each side. Shotgun snap, looking downfield. He'll scramble and he's brought down.
It was Blunt who came off the edge, who forced McWilliams to tuck the ball and try to run it.
And Liam Gombrich just cleaning up. And if I saw Mark Blunt running at me at full speed, I would do the same thing and run the other way. Unfortunately for McWilliams, it is Liam Gombrich there to shut him down, and that is how the first half will shut down. After 24 minutes of play, IMG Academy 34, Aiklands Angels Christians Academy 6. We will take a 15 to 20 minute break for halftime and have second half action for you. You are watching Ascender Football on IMG Academy TV.
There's a fog out there, and it's calling you by name. It wants to wrap its whole self around you, make you forget who you are. But you won't forget. You've got to find your way through that fog, through the unknown. There's only one way. Run.
We're going to talk a little bit about wall training. Let's go.
We're going to go 3 different types of lunges.
Just keep that back flat. Today we're going to take it through a full body workout. So let's go.
Don't wait for tomorrow. Make the days count. Gatorade has carbs to fuel and electrolytes to help replenish, so you can count on the proven formula. Nothing beats Gatorade.
You ever have that day? You know, that day, that very moment, you got better. Your better got better. What if that day was every day?
This
IMG goes on the road Saturday to play number 6 Duncanville. So you got a 1 versus 6.
Yeah, I just love the fact that IMG is going back to Texas. You know, you brought up the last time they went there was 2015.
Going into the week of Duncanville week, we called it, kids talked about some downtime for us just to recover and grow as a team. You know, Victory Monday this week consists of taking them to the beach, where the players could just lounge out and start to enjoy each other. We had players play in the ocean. We had guys study on the beach. So it was a great way just to fool around with our guys, get to know them in a different site, and we did a great job with it.
Had a lot of motivation in us going into Duncanville, and just the practice energy was definitely different from the weeks prior. It was an unneeded motivation that was just in us, and we were ready to play. This is a game that I've been excited for. There is no fear, there is no pressure felt when we put in the work that we do and we prepare the way we prepare. We love when everyone's against us, and it adds another chip on our shoulder to just keep going and prove that we're the best team in the country.
Y'all got an amazing opportunity, man, for real. Like, coming to IMG, man, like, it really changed my life for real. Just my first, week I got there. DeAndre, Tony Jones. I mean, I met Bo before he left. A lot of guys, man, plenty of guys that I still talk to this day. Like, in the Snapchat group chat with Tony and 3 other guys that I went to school with. It's just like a brotherhood, bro. Like, y'all gonna know y'all teammates through college, through league. Got to Alabama, man, met Bo. Like, me and Bo was like this just because we went to IMG together. Like, that was a connection right there. And then just the IMG connection, like, when I say that, bro, like, tomorrow y'all really got to go out there and play, like, as brothers, like y'all knew each other since y'all was yay high. Because that's just what it's going to be. If y'all don't do that, bro, this team, they're going to run through y'all.
Sir, thank you.
Having the alum come back and really share their experience about brotherhood, that's the big message that came across. And the other message was that we don't lose in Texas. And our guys really gravitated to his speech, and he really set the bar high for us, and the guys lived it.
Very excited about having an opportunity to play Texas. I mean, we've been down, Greg's been here since a sophomore, and I finally see a Texas team on the schedule is huge.
Very important that the number one thing that we made a deal was that one of us would always come to his game. We're so proud of him, and he worked so hard, and IMG has been the best for us.
For us to be able to go to every game, either one of us or both of us, has been really, really special. It's great for him to have all of his friends from home. We have a ton of family and friends here that came down from Chicago to support Jay.
Nigel Harris.
Continually grow mentally.
Number 74 center, Greg Crippen.
You know, when he does go
Number 56, right guard, Ethan Lane. Number 54, right tackle.
Welcome into the high school football game of the year. This big matchup between the number 1 team in the nation, IMG Academy, and the Duncanville Panthers from just down the road here in the Metroplex, ranked number 6. Would you believe 49 players in this game have at least one FBS offer?
Y'all control this game. Y'all are going to be the reason we have that ring on our finger at the end of the year. Let's go, baby. Bring it up, bring it up, bring it up.
Hey, y'all lost him. I'm gonna die for y'all, all right?
Let's go, boys. Hey, brotherhood on me, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Brotherhood. We are ready to go from Globe Life Park.
1, ready?
And now we get a look at J.J. McCarthy.
Hey, he's coming, hey, he's coming.
On 3rd and 12, McCarthy has a pocket. Throws left, and it is somehow caught. Racing down the sideline, Malik McClain, and pushed out of bounds.
All Kick it. We need to have protection. We do. It's just that they brought 6 instead of 5.
IMG Academy up 3-0 on the 31-yard field goal by Gavin Martin.
There's a fog out there, and it's calling you by name. It wants to wrap its whole self around you, make you forget who you are. But you won't forget. You've got to find your way through that fog, through the unknown. There's only one way.
Run.
We're going to talk a little bit about wall training. Let's go.
We're going to go 3 different types of lunges.
Just keep that back flat. Today we're going to take it through a full body workout. So let's go.
IMG Plus online camps take the world-renowned coaching and training methodology that helps create high-performing athletes here on site in Bradenton, Florida, and makes it accessible online, allowing for athletes to the ease and convenience of training without having to travel. While most online training platforms feature only pre-recorded instruction, IMG Academy Plus camps deliver daily live video sessions and interactions with IMG coaches and personalized analysis of your game. So not only do we provide a proven training plan, we evaluate and provide feedback on your progress so you know what to do and how to continue improving. So first you have to select the week that you would choose to partake in the activity. On Monday, you'll have a live video call with your coach that will give you instruction and explanation for the week's curriculum. Next, you'll receive access to your plan for the week. Now, this is going to be specific training that is tied to sports development as well as your APD curriculum. APD will include performance training in areas like movement, mental training, and athletic regeneration. Throughout the week, you're going to record yourself or have someone record your actions. You'll submit those videos to your coach for full analysis, and then they will be returned each day. The process will continue Monday through Friday, and at the end of the week, you'll have a full training experience that touches on all of the different aspects in that sport and all levels of development. So the coaches that are going to be working with our virtual campers are going to be the same coaches that work with our student athletes, with our campers, and with our pros that train here on site year-round. They're going to use some of the same methodology that has helped IMG Academy student athletes become some of the world's top athletes.
You think you know us? You think you know what we're about?
One IMG Academy here in Florida.
You think you know what it takes to succeed here? To focus? To grind?
Here we go.
Every single day? You don't even know the half of it.
Let's go!
This here is a brotherhood. We're talking about a got your back now and forever.
Let it out!
Push you harder than you've ever been pushed kind of brotherhood. It's a brotherhood that recognizes the success that came before us and the expectations for us to maintain it. because the last thing we'd ever do is disappoint our brothers.
24th pick, Cesar Ruiz. 44th pick, Grant Delpit. 46th pick, KJ Hamler.
Scarborough breaks the tackle, surging forward, he's in for the touchdown.
We hear what you're saying. The haters, the doubters, the people who throw shots without any idea of the work we put in and the sacrifices we make. But we'll let you in on a little secret. It doesn't matter. You know why? We hold ourselves to a higher standard than anyone could ever set for us. Work harder. Get stronger. Be smarter. Play faster. Dream bigger.
Unreal. IMG dominating.
This one getting a little out of control.
This is a brotherhood. So you think you know us? Well, you're about to find out.
The academic programs at IMG.
Welcome back to IMG Academy Stadium, just about 60 seconds away from second half kickoff where the Ascenders lead 34-6. We'll take a look at some of the scoring plays from the first half. 34-6, the lead over the Aiklands Angels Christian Academy Wildcats. There we saw Stacy Gage lunging forward, and then Tyler Ross putting the icing on that cake first drive. And then it would just be all IMG again. There we see Christian Ingman putting some pressure on, but then the pick six by number 14, Leo Martinez. That made it 14-0. And then, of course, we saw Stacy Gage, the Riverview Rocket, SpaceX, ready for launch, going 30 yards to the house. Absolutely destroying everybody in his path. Almost 100 yards in the first half alone. And then Juan Zabal Alonso just straight out of a cannon through the middle, barrels into the end zone. He made it 27-0. And then this beautiful touch pass to Holbrook, putting the Ascenders at 34. The only defensive hiccup coming after 3 penalties kept the Wildcats in a drive that allowed them to get a 4th and 28, but they converted on it. Nice pass into the end zone, but 34-6 is where we are. My name Ryan Sudol, my broadcast partner Josh Phillips, and Josh, just a absolutely dominating performance from the Ascenders in the first half.
Well, it's what we expected before the game. We thought that the Ascenders were going to come out after last week and be ready to play, be focused and dialed in, and they have been for the most part, besides that one drive that you just mentioned with the penalties and giving up that 4th and 28 touchdown. So they're getting the ball here at the beginning of the second half. They have an opportunity to drive down and score and extend their lead and potentially go up by 35 points, which would then trigger the running clock. So I know that they'd love to get that going and be able to head this one home. They had a great first half, though, and especially they dominated on the line. That's where they really just owned the Wildcats. Their defensive line had one of the most dominating performances of the season. All of the defensive linemen have made their presence felt, and their offensive line in terms of blocking was excellent. They've been able to run at will. They've only thrown the ball a few times, and so they had a great half.
And they will try that little squib again, fielded at the 35 and falling forward for about a 4-yard gain. That is Jimmy Athens, one of the smaller players on the Ascender special teams, but always able to pack a punch. He'll give the Ascenders 1st and 10 with about a 60-yard field to find pay dirt and possibly start the FHSAA mandated running clock.
We also see a couple other Ascender skilled players getting warmed up here on the sideline.
Tyler Ross with the hand up the middle and trying to shake That tackle is Stacy Gage getting the first touch of the second half.
It's rare that you see Gage stopped for a gain shorter than 4 or 5 yards. I know his average per carry is much greater than that. So a good job by the Wildcats to hold Stacy Gage to about 3 yards on first down.
And that'll bring up 2nd and 8. Zabal Alonso also in at tailback to the right of Tyler Ross, and the hand is to Gage, who shoots straight upfield and can't escape the shoelace tackle. Give credit to Christopher Henry, able to bring him down, but not after getting enough for the first.
Juan Zabal Alonso did a good job sealing the edge on that play. That was a stretch zone play, and Zabal Alonso was able to get the block on the outside to give Gage room to get the first down.
Now Ross takes the snap, the hand to Gage up the middle, and still punishing the defensive line for AA Christian Academy. He'll gain 3 on the play.
Coach Bray loves to run the football, and I think that he just wants to lean on this offensive line and wear down the Wildcat defense throughout this second half.
Now with his heels on midfield, Tyler Ross awaits the snap. Shotgun. Hands to Gage again, who's looking for some space and able to get outside. Still on his feet somehow. Stopped at the line of scrimmage and spins his way forward for the first down, or maybe just shy.
That was another one of those patient runs that we talk about. Gage was able to bounce it to the outside, spin off of tacklers, drag a couple more tacklers, almost for the first down. Now, we do have a penalty on the field. The officials are discussing it right now.
And is a personal foul against AA Christian. So that will, in fact, be a first down. So after the first down run by Stacy Gage, don't get 15 free yards. Now 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line of Akeland's Angels Christian Academy. Definitely in striking range for this Ascender offense. Tyler Ross, 2 receivers to his left. Play action. Steps up across the pocket, has Gage as a receiver, and they're going to say incomplete. Tyler Ross with a nice little running throw. Stacy Gage on that little wheel route that we saw him run out of the backfield and almost able to convert.
Well, Gage was open, and Ross made a pretty good throw. It wasn't an easy catch, but it was a catchable ball. He stepped up in the pocket. Ross actually did get a little bit of pressure from the Wildcat defense here. He steps up in the pocket, buys himself a little bit of time. He gets it just over the outstretched arms of the defender. Gage had to lay out for it, but he wasn't able to reel it in.
Play action again. Ross will keep it himself and try to run forward, but wrapped up, and a very tenacious defensive line for AA Christian. Able to bring Ross down, but not after he fights for about 3 or 4 yards on the play.
Ross refused to go down at the first tackler. He kept pumping his legs and kept fighting, like you said, to get extra yards, and was able to make a short gain out of that.
Now Ross almost drawing the flag. They'll get the adjustment from the sideline. Gage moves into a little pistol now on the left hip of Tyler Ross. Takes the snap, the hand to Gage. He runs left on the counter. Breaks upfield at the 10, the 5, touchdown. Stacy Gage from 20 yards out. That'll put him definitely over 100 yards. And his second touchdown of the night, Stacy Gage. Just an absolutely picture-perfect run. Makes it look easy.
Well, with Gage, we know it's not if, but when he's going to strike, and he takes that handoff and then bounces it to the left, to the outside, and there was nothing but green grass for about 15 yards. He really only had one defender to outrun to get into the end zone, and he was able to do that. So Stacey Gage continues his streak of being just absolutely unstoppable when he's in the backfield for the varsity squad, and the Ascenders extend their lead.
Again, saw him get some time with the national team. His first snaps with a hurt Xavier Terrell at the Duncanville game, a game they won 41-14. Stacey Gage accounting for 2 of those touchdowns, as well as playing against Bishop Sycamore last week, and just showing that he is going to be a force to be reckoned with over the next 3 seasons, hopefully all here at IMG Academy.
I'm sure that IMG will do whatever they can to keep Stacey Gage here in the fold.
And at 41-6, we should see the game clock start to run, and it does, which will speed the rest of you out of here on your Thursday night, but still a chance to see some more touchdowns. And Cole Cabo will try to put this one into the end zone. The strong leg of Cole Cabo, that will be down for a touchback. It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 20 for the Wildcats.
See if the Wildcats are able to muster anything on offense. They definitely have a couple of playmakers, but will they have enough time to make a play? The defensive line has brought such a push tonight that McWilliams has had almost no time to throw the football. The running lanes have been clogged up as well. So their offense really, besides a couple of penalties and a couple of big plays, has not been able to sustain anything.
80 yards to go. We've seen the Wildcats get into the end zone just once today on a 4th and 28 conversion. And a timeout called after the kickoff. That's got to frustrate the coaches. Maybe just a different look from the IMG defense, causing them to rethink what they want to do for this first play, coming out now down 35. And that will be the only time the clock stops, is for team called timeouts or official timeouts. Otherwise, incomplete passes, first downs, and scores will not stop the clock. Don't forget, join us Saturday afternoon, 1 p.m., right back here at IMG Academy Stadium, as the post-grad Ascenders will take on Field of Dreams Academy. First year of the post-grad team, a heartbreaking loss their first time here on the home field, as that run up 8 yards. That is the Arvis Allen. So 8 yards on the carry.
Allen was able to find a little crease there in that tough Ascender defense. Get an 8-yard gain on first down, 9-yard gain on first down.
2 receivers to each side. Now the snap. The hand straight up the middle, and contact made. Victor Napoli getting the initial shot to bring down Allen, but they will move the chains.
Last couple plays, the Wildcats have been in a 4 wideout 2-by-2 set, kind of spreading the Ascenders out, trying to then take advantage of space on the inside with the read option play, and they've been able to find a little bit of something.
They'll break the huddle 1st and 10 on their own 37-yard line. Same formation. They take the snap. This time play action from McWilliams. And just a little short. That one intended for number 9 of AA Christian, LeAngelo Johnson, and he was frustrated as that one easily could have been intercepted. Instead, just falls for an incomplete pass.
I can understand why he'd be frustrated. He actually broke free in the secondary. He was behind the defenders, and the safety did not get over top. If that ball had been thrown on target, he had a chance to score, so I can understand why Johnson would be frustrated. And McWilliams didn't step up in the pocket. He had pressure right in his face. He kind of threw off his back foot.
And now the snap, the hand to the right. Gets across the 40, just shy of the 45. And that will bring up third down for the Wildcats.
It does seem on this drive like the Wildcats have found a little bit of consistency with their read option run game. They're getting positive gains out of it every time they run the football. The pressure that the defensive line has brought from the Ascenders all night and the penetration that they've got even on run downs seems to be a little bit less effective right now.
Now the snap. The hand straight up the middle. He's got space. It's DeZonte McWilliams, and he might be into the end zone. And brought down, extends over, touchdown.
McWilliams, talk about shot out of a cannon. On that play, McWilliams was burning up the sideline. He made a couple of the IMG angles, no more with the speed that he showed on that play. McWilliams takes the handoff, and he bounces to the outside, and he's streaking down the sideline. Number nine, Sam Gracie Glazer wasn't able to run him down, and McWilliams showed a lot of speed on that play.
57 yards on the touchdown run by DeZonte McWilliams. And all three brothers on this team, also a set of cousins as well. And the two-point conversion, no good. That one shut down in the backfield. And credit Edward McKee in on the stop as well. So 41-12 after a impressive run by number 1 for AA Christian Academy. And now we'll see the Ascender offense come back onto the field. Now only leading by 29.
I did say at the beginning of the second half, if somebody's going to do something in this game that's exciting from the Wildcats, I bet their last name is McWilliams. It's a good bet. It's a good bet with all the McWilliams on this roster, but DeZonte has already shown us on that kickoff return that he had earlier in this game, even though it was called back, he has a lot of speed. He's an explosive player. So is his brother, the quarterback, Divanique.
And now we'll see the kick unit again, possibly another onside to try to give the offense a chance. And thank you for spending your Thursday night with us. If you're in the Facebook Live watch party room, feel free to ask any questions of myself or Josh about anything IMG football or athletics related.
Haven't had any exciting questions tonight?
Nope, just a couple comments, some family watching from around the country. Again, IMG not just nationwide, but also worldwide. And this one fielded and brought down by, I believe that might have been Leo Martinez or Grant Shepley. Again, both wearing number 14.
I will say that the IMG hands team or kickoff return team has been excellent tonight at fielding all these onside kicks. It's something that you practice, and a lot of times you don't get to see it in a game, but tonight we've seen multiple onside kicks from the Wildcats, and all of the frontline kickoff return players have fielded the ball quite well for IMG.
Now the snap. And this is Colt Inselman, your new quarterback for the Ascenders. And he'll bust into Wildcat territory just on the other side of the 50.
You can tell that his teammates love Colt Inselman. Colt Inselman's the holder on all of Cole Caba's kicks, and we've seen him come in a couple of games this year at the end of games, get these opportunities, and his teammates definitely rally around him.
Inselman takes the snap and the hand. This to Keyshawn Fauntleroy, who's got some room. And he'll get enough for the first down. So you like to talk about sometimes having a thunder and lightning running back like they do on the national team with Katron Allen and Lavoisier Carroll. But here you've almost got a 4 or 5-headed running back monster for IMG Academy, because if it's not Stacey Gage or Juan Sabal Alonso, Demetrius Flesher, Keyshawn Fauntleroy, all able to get yards positive. Not to mention your quarterbacks, Colt Inselman getting positive yards, Joe Borchers getting a 10-yard run, and also Tyler Ross.
Well, it all starts up front. The offensive line has been dominant, just like the defensive line has been dominant. Great line play tonight on both sides of the ball.
Play action to Fauntleroy. Inselman's going to keep it himself as they try to strip him. His forward progress is stopped. And the whistle will blow the play dead.
But this stable of backs is so talented. We talk about this every week. So much talent carrying the football. But when you talk about thunder and lightning, Stacey Gage is both. He's both. The way that he runs the football, you see a little bit of thunder and a little bit of lightning. I think those varsity backs, they're capable of that too. It's just Lavoisier Carroll is such a jet, such an Eric Dickerson-like speedster with the ball, and Katron Allen is such a powerful runner that there's just more of a disparity between their running styles.
And this time we see Fletcher trying to get the outside edge and quickly wrapped up.
That's the first time in a while that the Wildcats have been able to get some penetration and create a negative play. So we've got 3rd and long here. We haven't seen a whole lot in the pass game from the Ascenders tonight. This would be a good down and distance for Colt Inselman to get an opportunity to throw the football.
3rd and 14. This will probably be the last play of the third quarter. Now the snap, Inselman. Little shoulder fake, looking downfield for Fletcher, and it's almost intercepted.
They tried to go back to the same play that we saw Ross throw to Gage on the previous possession, and it was not open. The Wildcats definitely sniffed that one out. Inselman tried to throw that wheel route, and unfortunately for the Wildcats, they just couldn't haul in that interception, because they would have had a good opportunity for a pick 6 if they'd have been able to hold on to that.
That will take us to the fourth quarter after 36 minutes of play. IMG 41, Aiklands Angels Christian Academy 12. You're watching Ascender Football on IMG Academy TV. And welcome back. Fourth quarter action here in Bradenton, Florida. And the Ascenders will have probably 2 drives from each team, depending on how active they are. This the first time we have seen the punting unit for IMG Academy tonight. And it comes on the first play of the fourth quarter. Snap back. I believe that is Hunter Mako getting a leg into it, trying to get that coffin corner, and that is going to be fielded inside the 5. What a punt by Hunter Mako, and great coverage by the Ascender Special Teams unit.
Looked like Leo Martinez was the one who got down there and fielded that inside the 5-yard line for the Wildcats. Great kick by Hunter Mako. He did the back spin on the ball, almost like a golfer does, on their golf shot, he put some backspin on that and tried to get that ball to die inside the 5-yard line. It was almost perfectly executed by him, and a great job covering that kick by Martinez.
So 1st and 10, the longest field that AA Christian Academy has had on the evening. 98 yards to go. And you know this IMG Ascender defense is going to be looking to get those points back any way that they can.
It's always dangerous when you get the ball this close to your own goal line, but especially the way things have gone tonight and some of the turnovers we've seen from the Wildcats, I expect the Ascenders to pin back their ears and bring pressure here and try to create turnover.
So the delay of game against Lakeland's Angels Christian Academy is going to make it a 99-yard field. Quarterback Dominique McWilliams will have his heels in his own end zone. And the clock winding down again. They might have to take another delay of game, and instead they will take a timeout. Play clock was at 2 seconds remaining, and they have to burn a timeout.
I mean, at that point, what does it matter? You're going to move the ball 2 more inches closer to your goal line? I mean, I'm not trying to be overly critical, but they have had more delay of game penalties than I think I've ever seen from a high school football team, and almost every single time they get the ball back after a kickoff, they get a delay a game. I'm not sure why they can't get 11 guys out on the field, but it's a huge problem, and it's hurt them all night.
9:58 remaining in the game. And again, we have another IMG Academy broadcast coming up this Saturday, 1 p.m. That'll be our post-grad team. Only the second game we will have seen them at home, and then next week, a big national tilt as the Ascenders welcome a team that has never beat them back to Bradenton. Miami Northwestern, currently ranked number 9 in the country, number 3 in the state of Florida. The only team in between them is St. Thomas Aquinas. A matchup that everybody in the country would love to see. 1st and 11 in the shadow of their own end zone. The snap. McWilliams is going to keep it himself and just barely gets across the plane. It'll get the yard they lost back on the delay of game penalty. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
McWilliams fought his way out of that end zone. He was doing everything he could to prevent a safety. So good for him to fight that hard to get that yardage to get them out of the end zone. Do you think we'll ever see a St. Thomas Aquinas matchup?
I know everybody would love to see it.
Are they dodging the IMG Ascenders?
With them opting into the Florida High School Athletic Association playoffs, some scheduling snafu as this one goes right up the middle, back into the end zone, and just shy of being a safety. And right now, St. Thomas Aquinas boasting, I believe, 13 players in the NFL from their current active players, but just in the last 2 seasons alone that IMG Academy has been draft eligible. Bo Scarborough being the first draft pick for the Ascenders, and then last year, first ever first-round pick for IMG Academy, Cesar Ruiz, then also Grant Delpit, KJ Hamler. So IMG just in 2 draft-eligible seasons putting 6 players in the NFL, so quickly trying to take that crown from St. Thomas Aquinas. And now McWilliams will keep it himself. Running upfield, he's going to get enough for the first down and then some. Tries to cut back at the 24 and loses his footing. And Dominique McWilliams.
That was a great run by McWilliams. It's unfortunate his foot slipped there as he tried to cut back, but him and his brother have both shown if they can get in the open field, they are dangerous runners, and we just haven't seen enough of that tonight, opportunities to get them out into space.
So 1st and 10. from their own 25-yard line. Again, trying to save face. They've gotten into the end zone twice. That just a little screen pass back. It'll go down as a rush in the stats, and great pursuit to avoid another big play.
It was a good call, though. Good opportunity to just swing the ball out, put your athlete out in space. IMG has great pursuit, of course. They have so many athletes, and they all run very well. But put your athlete out in space and give him an opportunity to make a play with his athleticism, and he did. So now we've got a second and short, a 2nd and 2 here, an 8-yard gain on first down. Nice way to start that series of downs for the Wildcats.
Again, we talked a little bit about some of the players from Mexico, a name we've called a lot tonight. Liam Gombrich, one of the Canadians, all the way from British Columbia, has some family in the chat watching all the way from Western Canada. Thanks for spending your early evening on the West Coast with us, as that incomplete pass intended for Christopher Henry. I'll bring up 3rd and 2.
Well, for those Canadian fans and Gombrich's family, he is a bull of a defensive lineman. He puts a lot of pressure on opposing quarterbacks week in and week out. He clogs up the middle of that defense.
Standing at 6 foot 260. And you see that and you wonder, how is he one of the smaller guys on the defensive line?
He's got something we like to call leverage. 6 foot 260, hard man to block.
Logan Aiello getting the tackle, but not before Wildcats are able to get another first down. We'll have our final water break of the night. We will take it with them. 5:44 remaining in the game. IMG leads 41-12. This is Ascender Football on IMG Academy TV.
Don't wait for tomorrow. Make the days count. Gatorade has carbs to fuel and electrolytes to help replenish, so you can count on the proven formula. Nothing beats Gatorade.
Welcome to the Bradenton area, where the easy pace of island life comes naturally in this coastal playground with endless white sand beaches, stunning natural preserves, relaxing vibes all around, and it's a seafood lover's paradise. Stay a while to explore downtown Bradenton with top-rated attractions and a friendly community set along the Bradenton Riverwalk. Come lose yourself in the sun-drenched Gulf Coast of Florida and change your reality in the Bradenton area. Learn more at BradentonGulfIslands.com.
Welcome back. 1st and 10. Fresh set of downs for Eglins Angels Christian Academy. They'll go 2 receivers to each side. The handoff to McWilliams, trying to cut up field and quickly cut down. And Ben Safley in on the tackle along with Andre Jackson.
Christian Ingman shot up the field and started to come inside almost on what looked like a pass rush move. And then he realized that it was a run and it bounced outside and was able to get a solid gain on first down and 9 yards, set up another 2nd and short.
Trying to keep the drive alive, and the longer Wildcats hold the ball, the less likely the IMG offense is to see the field again, but the defense has been strong all game long. 2nd and short. And the snap is fumbled. And it's the Ascenders that come up with it. Coming out of the pile, number 38, Edward McKee. And it looked like McWilliams just was looking upfield and could not reel the ball in. And McKee comes up with it. And just as I say we're not going to see the Ascender offense, the Wildcats cough it up.
Yeah, I don't think McWilliams was ready for that snap. He was kind of talking to his running back, and then all of a sudden the ball gets up. No, he just mishandled it. He took his eye off it. The ball was snapped, and he just turned his head. It went right through his hands, bounced off his feet, and McKee was able to hop on it. Johnny on the spot made the recovery and gives the Ascenders offense another shot.
And now Colt Inselman, the quarterback, he's going to keep it himself. Shakes one tackle, tries to cut up field, and brought back right to the original line of scrimmage for no gain, but That was a hard-fought no gain by Colt Inselman.
Yeah, there was penetration from the Wildcat defensive line. There was an inside rip move, and the Wildcat defender was up the field. Inselman had to bounce around him to get outside and fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now the snap, Inselman rolls to his left. Cuts up field. He's got room to run up the 40. He'll get 5 on the play and bring up a 3rd and short with just a little over 3 minutes remaining.
Inselman rolls out here. The edge was sealed, so he cuts up inside, tucks it, runs with it, was able to get 5 yards, get a good gain there, set him up for 3rd and medium.
Now the man in motion is Michael Clark, and they'll run that wheel route, and that is almost going to be a pick 6. They're going to say incomplete, and it looked like that could have been a potential backwards pass that could have been down as a fumble. And on 4th and 5, we'll see what Coach Kyle Bray wants to do, and that's one of those Music City Miracle ones that was right down the line.
That was really close because Inselman was standing right on that yard line, and he threw it almost straight down. It was borderline a backwards pass, and that could have very easily been ruled a fumble.
So 2 minutes remaining on 4th and 4. They're going to go for it. Inselman drops, pressure coming. He rolls to his right, has to get rid of it, and that might even go down as an intentional grounding as well.
Inselman tried to avoid the sack, just got rid of it. We don't see the flag, so it doesn't look like he's going to get penalized for an illegal grounding. So the Wildcats are going to take over. The clock is ticking, though. They've only got 1:33 left.
And we may just see 1 or 2 plays left. So after the Varsity Ascenders fell last week to Sebring 44-14, looking like they're going to reverse that scoreline and make it 41-12, as there's only time for about 2 more plays, so we might see the McWilliams toss 1 more deep, maybe 2. But still, scoring at home against this Ascender defense has not been an easy task, so they get to go back to Winter Haven having done it twice. And the throw across the middle and brought down. Victor Napoli getting the tackle before Christopher Henry can get much more.
That was the most accurate throw of the night from McWilliams. That was a well-thrown slant ball. He put it right on the chest of Christopher Henry.
Gracie Glazer also in pursuit to help shut that down. And probably the last play of the game. McWilliams takes the snap. He's going to have to keep it himself. He's got space, cuts upfield at the 40 to the 35, stays on his feet, and his own man knocks him down. And they're going to move the chains, but that will end the game. And just an absolutely dominating performance from the Ascenders. Your final score, 41-12. Josh, pretty much what we expected to see after coming off of a loss against Sebring last week.
The Ascenders were ready to play tonight. Their offensive and defensive lines were dominant throughout. Both halves, all the quarters, they dominated the line of scrimmage. Their running game was unstoppable. We did see a couple of flashes, a couple of moments from the Wildcats where the McWilliams brothers showed their athleticism, but the Ascenders were just too much for the Wildcats tonight.
Your final score again, 41-12 in favor of IMG Academy over Eglins Angels Christian Academy. For everybody here at IMG Academy and my broadcast partner, Josh Phillips, my name is Ryan Sudol saying so long from the Suncoast. Don't forget, tune in Saturday afternoon, 1 p.m. as the post-grad team welcomes Field of Dreams Academy here to Bradenton. Thanks again for tuning in. This has been Ascender Football on IMG Academy TV.